Some of these may surprise you, so you might want to stick around till the end. This is a tier list for Enter the Gungeon's bosses. It's not by difficulty. It's kind of just by how fun the boss is, how cool the boss is. Good mix of difficulty. It's fun to play against. You maybe don't feel like you got cheated when you get hit. I'd like a fair boss with plenty of difficulty. So looks like there's a lot of bosses here. There's like the past kill bosses. There's some obscure stuff here. Luckily I have some real Gungeon heads here in the chat to help me remember what everything is. I've been playing Gungeon for about a year, but I played a shitload. I've played about 300 or 400 hours at this point. So I have a pretty informed opinion about how I like these bosses. Let's explain the tiers first. Starting at the bottom here is Garbage tier. These are regrettable bosses. I don't think there's going to be many of these. These are bosses you just don't want to see, period. Maybe some of the past kill bosses might make it here. Just bosses I don't like to play against. Yuckers, just a step above Garbage. It is maybe difficult bosses, but not in a great way. Just tough ones here. Average tier. Just middle of the pack bosses, just all-arounders. I see a handful I'm looking at. I'll just go ahead and spoil it. This is an average. We'll see about Blobulord. Very nice. This is when we're talking about some good boss design, some fun bosses to play against. And then, of course, we have Peak. There's a couple bosses in this game that I just love playing against, and I have to put them up here. And some of these may surprise you, so you might want to stick around till the end. All right, also, this is a YouTube video, so nobody post jackass. Nobody post jackass in the chat, please, tonight. I need to pull the wiki to remember some of these guys' names. No, hurry the fuck ups. No, hurry the fuck up. I will not accept hurry the fuck ups. I will slow down if I see that emote. This is Agunim. Yes, this is the one for the the bullets past. So you have to fight this Agunim with a wooden sword, basically. That's totally his name. How the fuck do you say it, man? Okay, let's start over here. In the bullets past, you fight two of those spinny guys. Then you fight Agunim, and then you fight this fat Angry Birds pig. So let's start with Agunim, which is phase 2 of the bullet past. Agunim, whatever, dude. You know what? We might just start with average. I'm trying to think. I mean, I like that. It's a unique mechanic when you got to play tennis or ping pong. You send that ball back and forth. You got to send it back like 5 times in a row on the last phase there. It is kind of fun. It's okay. Good average boss. Honestly, the past kill bosses are really an afterthought for me. I kind of wish I just deleted them out of this. But don't worry about that. So here we have a normal boss here. We have Ammoconda from Gungeon Proper, Floor 2. Now here's a boss. Kind of annoying. But I've learned to appreciate it a little bit more lately. I don't like those projectiles when they shoot the lines. When he shoots the line projectiles and they turn at random, that is a little annoying for me. That's what's going to keep him out of very nice for me. Right now, he's going to sit at the top of average. All right. It's also kind of annoying when he eats and gets his health back, right? When he eats his little balls. All right, Dragun. Dragun is iconic in Enter the Gungeon. He is the only boss you will encounter on the Forge. Very cool boss. You get the zoom out from the camera. I think that's a nice touch. I like the bosses in general that have the kind of rectangular platform to fight on rather than a big or a more rectangular than a more square room. I started this game playing mouse and keyboard, and I thought Dragun was a little bit easier on mouse and keyboard because you got to hit the angles a little bit with the last phase of Dragun. The daggers are a little bit annoying when they're jammed, especially. Nearly peak. This is a very nice boss. Okay, Beholster Eye. Yeah, what can we say about old Beholster Eye from Gungeon proper? Just Beholster is actually his name. Looks crazy. He's drooling all that green and whatnot. Face of the game. Yeah, face of the game. The first line of the Gungeon rap. I might lose some of you here, but I'm putting Beholster Eye straight to peak. Okay? This is a boss that I like to fight against. It's just fun. I know exactly, like, when I take a hit, I know exactly what I did wrong. You know it, the laser comes out from the top or the bottom. It's just a perfect boss to, like, okay, you're going to learn things about him as you do more runs. I don't know, something about him is just like that perfect level. For Gungeon proper, you're on the second boss of the game. He's not piss easy, but he's not quite, you know, Ammoconda, you can get Ammoconda on the wrong run. He might be jammed. You're going to be like you're going to be giving yourself a Charlie horse when you get Ammoconda sometimes. When I see Beholster, I'm thinking, all right, I know I got a shot against Beholster. I like fighting against Beholster. He's peak for me. This is my list after all. I don't see the glitched Beholster fight on here. It's not really a boss. It's kind of like a special occasion when you fight both Beholster and a jam Beholster at the same time with a glitched chest. I think that's also a pretty peak experience. So make sure you keep playing Gungeon if you've never got a glitched chest. All right, let's move back on to Black Stache. Black Stache is the boss from the Convict's past. So in the Convict's past, you're in like a nightclub. You're in like a Hotline Miami nightclub. It's kind of cool. And then he spawns these goons who have rifles. He's like a kingpin type guy. I've played a ton. I mean, most Gungeon players don't really do pass kills more than once or twice. And I'm no exception. So I don't know much. I can't think of even all the mechanics and how it works as a boss, but he's cool. I think overall, oh shit, what did I just do to him? He's over here. I think overall, I like the aesthetic of the nightclub and everything. I'm going to put him at the top of average. It's a controversial tier list. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Blobulord is the boss of the Oubliette, the first secret floor of Gungeon. Oubliette's really hard early in the run. Blobulord doesn't really match the hardness of the Oubliette to me. I think he's kind of out of place. I think the boss is kind of a fucking snooze fest, unfortunately. Also, it's a boss that you're not usually that worried about taking a hit because there's no mass around at stake. And I think the phase where he splits apart is kind of bullshit sometimes. Although when he's jammed, I think the sprites for his split apart form are really cool. He gets some bonus points for that, but unfortunately, I'm going to put Blobulord on Yuckers. He is our first Yuckers tier. Alright, what is this guy's name, man? Somebody help. Here he is. Blockner. Alright, we got a thank you. Got a couple thank yous in the chat. I'm guessing you guys are just thanking me for doing this tier list. Okay, next up is Blockner. Bro, who are these guys coming up, by the way? I'm not really sure what to do here because I don't remember fighting this fucking guy at all. I don't remember this guy even a little bit. What's his name? Blockner. Let me look him up. Let's look up a video here. I don't remember it at all. Nah. Sorry, guys. Garbage. Sorry, guys. Even when I have this guy in his mini-boss form, compared to the other mini-boss, this guy is straight garbage. Okay, next up is the Rat. The Rat has 3 phases. He appears in the middle of a Gungeon run, although he's like the last thing you unlock boss-wise, usually, I think, for most players. And it's just the most ridiculous boss in the game when you think about all 3 phases. I mean, Lich also has 3 phases, but the Rat is iconic and gonna go on top of peak. The Rat is awesome. The phases are awesome. And yes, Duda Champ fans will know for many moons I struggled with Punch-Out, although I did lock in at some point, and now I love Punch-Out. And I think that's an awesome little mini game that they put into the Rat fight, and it's a real treat. And even without Punch-Out, I love the build-up. I love how you have to get there, and I love phase 1 and 2 of the Rat. Rat is peak. I don't know if anything will top the Rat. I'll just go ahead and say it. Although you might want to stick around to the end because the results might surprise you. Okay. Agunim, whatever, from the RNG department. I love the vibe of the RNG department. He's one of the only bosses that talks at the start of a fight. Let's see if anyone on YouTube is...
So, you finally jumped into my home.
Kind of a cool aesthetic to the actual arena. You kind of on the top of the RNG department, you're on the roof. You can roll off the sides, which is also kind of rare for a boss. It's kind of fun. The big projectiles. He kind of throws out lines at one point. I think it's kind of a fun boss. I don't get to do it much. Maybe I'm just getting kind of swayed by how much I like the RNG department, just aesthetically, but I'm going to put him down there for now. He might get bumped out later. I don't think so, though. He's probably going to sit at the bottom of very nice. Overall, pretty fun boss. Okay. Okay, next up is Treadnaught. Treadnaught is a boss on Black Powder Mines. On Black Powder Mine, floor 3. Treadnaught's kind of a bastard. Treadnaught he spawns guys that look like him, but they have little AKs, and they will just kind of appear in a corner. You're kind of kiting around in a circle. The tank is just blasting shots at you. And then he's also spawning little guys with AKs who just kind of get the jump on you. I also don't love the randomness of, he shoots out so much bullshit over time. The walls are destructible. That's true. He shoots out so much bullshit. Sometimes you just get a raw deal, and I don't like that. I like when you always have a chance and where you can kind of get pattern recognition and like learn how to maneuver a boss. Sometimes you just get the odds stacked against you, so I'm going to go ahead and put him in Yuckers underneath the Blobulord. I just don't like that boss, personally. Now let's talk about Cannonbalrog, one of Treadnaught's cohorts on Black Powder Mine, one of the other bosses there. Cannonbalrog. The opening phase to Cannonbalrog is the hardest. He's just kind of like machine gun, kind of swing his shots like that. It's hard. It's a hard phase because he's also rolling towards you slowly. I don't like the phase where he disappears, and I don't like the phases when things go dark. I think those phases are fucking cringe. And that's why he's going to get... I kind of like the other phases. When he's rolling around and... Nah, this boss is ass, man. Yeah. He's in garbage. Let's, before we get into these heaters, let's do a quick filler block here. Let's get through the rest of these these past guys need to be dealt with. I don't want to be talking about the Lich and then talk about this fucking Angry Birds pig. So let's talk about these. Let's skip around and do some of these past guys. Let's go. This guy. This guy. I don't know what this is. Does anyone have any idea what this is? This guy. That's Marine past. Okay, so I guess this big pig, the Angry Birds pig as I call him, his name is Cannon. He is the third room that you fight for the bullets past, and probably the hardest of the 3 rooms. He only has like 2 or 3 different attack patterns. They're annoying, and it's annoying because you have that stupid wooden sword. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and put him under here for now. There's not much to say about Cannon. So we have HS Absolution. The pilot's past. I think, oof. I love the pilot's past. Pilot pass is so fun. I like Pilot's Pass, though. I think it's a nice change of pace. She must be in the ship. I don't know. So the Pilot's Pass is like this kind of Galaga, like spaceship battle. I almost want to go ahead and put her up and peek. Nah, top of very nice. I'm going to put this over Dragun, right where she is here. I think it's considered the hardest pass by a lot of people. But I like it. It's fun. Not much to say besides that. Now Marine Pass is next. And the name of that is Interdimensional Horror. So a lot of people start with the Marines. This might be the first pass kill that you do. Looks like it's kind of a mix. You have the kind of snaky projectiles. You kind of get a rifle for this fight, too. It's an interesting fight. It's kind of a mix of a lot of the boss phases and elements that you see. Throughout, like, normal bosses. Kind of bottom of average for me. If not, like, yuckers. These past guys, just take them with a grain of salt. I don't know what to say about these past kills. Some of these guys. Alright, next up. Who the hell is this? Okay, last human. Robots passed. Oh. Is that a fact? There's the last human. Last human looks kind of cool. Can't tell if they're ripping a dart or what that is in the mouth. Last human. Wow, the wiki actually has videos of all the bosses as well. Last human fight is a lot of poison on the floor. Interesting fight here. That's one I think I'm going to go ahead and put last human up here below the nightclub one here. Like a Sarah Connor type, yeah, kind of Terminator type situation. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put last human right there. I like this past a bit more, not as much as this one, but a somewhat memorable past. Nah, it's not above Ammoconda. We're going to put last human right here. Okay. Dr. Wolf's Monster. So this is the Hunter's past. I believe the Hunter was a very easy past. Easiest boss in the entire game. Only one person has ever died to it, but frankly they deserved it. Wow. You didn't even see all the attacks? Yeah, so I kind of have to concur with you all there. The boss was easy. I think Hunter was probably the first pass kill I did. And I had no problem, and I don't remember barely anything about it. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and put this guy right here. Yeah. What a yucky tier this has become. And now that we're done with the filler block, let's go ahead and finish strong here with some of the hitters here. All right, we got some big time bosses coming up here. The Lich. The Lich is the final boss in the run. The deepest you can go on a run, kind of, in a lot of ways. After you finish the Forge, you fight Dragun, then you get taken by the Lich to Bullet Hell, you beat Bullet Hell, and you fight the Lich. The Lich has 3 phases. Kind of iconic. He kind of changes forms. Phase 2 is kind of drastically different. He's this big skeleton monster, and you have that kind of rectangular floor to fight on. Some really interesting mechanics. Lich is freaking peak, man. Yeah, it's iconic. It's iconic. It's just below Rat for me. It's Lich. What can we say? They cooked on fucking Lich. And then you think, now you know what? As we hear this song playing now, is there anything better than a clutch Lich fight? I don't know. I'll leave the Rat above him. I think the Rat, they cooked on the Rat too, but the Lich is a close second for me so far on this list. He is the double Lich. Oh, wait a minute. The double Lich is an interesting thought. I remember that now. That's the Lich you fight on the Gunslinger unlock. That's right. That was kind of cool too. The OST goes hard. It was quite memorable. Yeah, Lich is awesome. It's a really cool design. I really like that phase 2 when the bullets is coming from both sides. That one's really satisfying to learn. And then phase 3, the rotation, when everything's kind of like blurring a little bit. Just fucking great bullet hell. Phase 1 has grown on me as well. It's fucking awesome, man. Lich is great. Lich is peak. Okay. The twins. Are they called the twins? I think they are. Trigger twins. The Trigger twins, a floor 1 Keeper of the Leadlord boss. We are seeing some Mitter twins yuckies in the chat. It's like the angry cool guy and his kind of happy-go-lucky brother. As far as their mechanics go, okay, I know a lot about that. They do have spawns. They spawn Bulletkin, which actually die in less hits than a normal Bulletkin. I think they die in 2 pistol shots versus 3 that you normally get on floor 1 on most pistols. And then when you kill one of them, you get kind of a rage phase. The rage phase, I think most people kill the sunglass one first. I do, for sure. And you don't even bother touching the other one until the rage phase, because the other one gets health back. Pretty average boss. Kind of like the essential average boss. I'm going to put it right below the snake. Let's move on here to Gorgun from Gungeon Proper Floor 2. Gorgun. Oops. Gorgun, a.k.a. Medusa, or Easy Snake as I called her. Kind of a classic boss. So I don't love how the ground is like water, and you can't use like can't use like active abilities. A lot of stuff on the ground. There's like a lot of stuff you can't do on the. It's a weird arena. Also, like a really poison heavy boss. She does that one swim around phase, and she goes in a circle. I liked the Medusa like stone attack, and I liked learning several hours in that rather than dodge rolling that ring what turns you into stone, you can just turn around, much like if you ever encounter Medusa in a mythological setting. It's a pretty cool boss. there's kind of a bullet hell phase where it's also kind of satisfying to learn. I don't like the double Uzi attack. That one gets me more often than not. She got some gimmicks. Cool gimmicks she got me in the first few runs. There's a few... She's got a little gimmicky stuff. I don't... I don't know. It's not a... I'm like relieved to see her because it's kind of easy, but that's not really good. So, not yuckers. But probably below the twins. We're going to go with below the twins for Gorgun. Okay, and now this is the Bullet King. One of the most basic bosses. Much like Old King, who we'll see later. He has like a royal subject who's just sitting next to him. And you gotta kill him as well, or not. Then there's an interesting interaction where you can one-shot this boss by hitting his subject into the boss with Casey. I actually did that tonight on the Old King. It works on that boss as well. The phases are kind of good. The one phase where he throws up the big ball and then it turns into like a swarm of bullet hell can draw out your blank sometimes. Sometimes you're just shit out of luck. You got to use a blank on that one. I know better players like Chewy, like for a lot of these bosses, they'll like sit right up on this guy, and he's really easy to read and just kind of master and kind of lock him up in a corner. Otherwise, he kind of just chases you around, kind of run-of-the-mill attacks. I like this boss though. I would say he's my favorite floor one. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of very nice. Hot take. Yeah. I like him. Okay, Door Lord is next. Door Lord. Door Lord is a rare boss, but he's just a normal boss. No, he could be on several floors. He could be on a couple different floors. So it's kind of a jump scare when you see Door Lord. Rare-ass boss for the game to do nothing special with him. Door Lord is cool. Yeah, so we have some mixed opinions of Door Lord here. Door Lord has... yes, I mean, the door that opens up for every boss room, it's kind of like, oh, this door is him. He looks familiar like that. It's just big fucking bullet door. The attacks are not... I don't love the attacks. I don't like the laser. I've got problems with the laser. He throws like change-ups with me on the laser. I just don't like some of the phases. Maybe it's just I'm not good at it still. But I just don't... I don't fuck with Door Lord. I'm going to go ahead and put Door Lord underneath... You know what? I'm sorry, Door Lord. Garbage. Sorry, Door Lord. Sorry, Door Lord fans. I just... Between... You don't get to fight him enough to, like, learn what's going on for the longest time. I mean, I've been doing a lot of boss rush lately, so, like, I'm getting a little more exposure to him, but... It's just annoying. It's like, why do they have this kind of... He should be more of, like, a... You can see that one changing in a future ranking. Oh, you're a Door Lord fan? I don't like Door Lord. I'm not lying. I just don't fuck with Door Lord. Okay. Next up is Gatling Gull. A classic. He's a ripped gull. He has a minigun. He shoots missiles. Your experience with Gatling Gull depends a lot on the layout that you get. You have an open flat room sometimes. Sometimes you have pillars. That's kind of your best case scenario. It's like a small amount of pillars. Sometimes you have a bunch of pillars and you lose them in there. And then sometimes you have these two water trenches. And sometimes you got a bunch of bullshit laying around. So he has a bunch of different kind of stages, it feels like, where you might fight him. So there's a little bit of RNG. Some are easier than others. This boss is... I've like only recently become like had no problem with this boss. This guy gave me trouble for the longest time. Like, just kind of a hard boss to master, honestly. Yeah, and then he'll jump up in the air and then land somewhere else. Sometimes you lose him, and he's just raining down missiles on you. Pretty good boss. It's one of the most tilting boss. When you take a hit from him, when you're just kind of like strafing his normal minigun attack, and you just kind of mess up a little bit, it's kind of annoying. He doesn't have a lot of tricks. I'm going to go ahead. This is a little controversial. I'm going to put him in Yuckers. Top of Yuckers. Gull's fucking lame. What can we say? All right, this guy. I call this guy the just Red Wizard or Red Guy, Red Man. High Priest is this guy's name. In my experience, a pretty rare boss on the Hollow. I feel like on Hollow, I usually get Kill Pillars or the Wallmonger. So High Priest is... He's probably the hardest Hollow boss. The hardest floor 4 boss. It's hard. I'll say that one phase... There's another darkness phase, much like on Cannonbalrog, where he turns the lights out and then just kind of spams you with like little bursts of bullet hell circles in random places, and there's kind of a visual indicator where those are going to hit from, but it's a really hard phase. A lot of his phases are really hard, and a little bit past, like, I never feel like, oh yeah, I'm really moving through this phase. I'm really learning this phase. It's just like, I'm just never comfortable. Maybe I just don't have enough experience yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put High Priest right here. In Yuckers. I just don't like him. I haven't learned to appreciate that one so far. Okay, the final stretch here. A couple of classics coming up here. Kill Pillars. Kill Pillars is like the quintessential noob stomper. When you have like someone new and they make it to the Hollow for the first time, you better believe the pillars are gonna stomp them out of the fucking Gungeon. Nah, Kill Pillars is really cool. I really love that first phase. I think it's so satisfying to just circle on the inside, doing the dodge roll. Just a great boss. The ending, the kind of mid phase when they're just kind of chasing you around, sometimes it gets a little dicey. Sometimes I feel like they catch up to me and I can't quite run away. I need more movement speed. And the last phase is kind of forgettable when there's just one guy just diving at you and you just kind of get the pattern down. But I like that first phase, and I like a boss that needs some strategy. So this boss, there's 4 of them. So you need a little bit of AoE, you need some explosion, you need some splash, you need some laser, something like that. Something that's going to be able to damage all 4. So good design. I love this boss. I'm going to go ahead and put Pillars at the top of very nice. Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer has some interesting phases. Mind Flayer is a boss on Black Powder Mine, floor 3. I kind of like the way he's just got the gun to the bell. It's kind of a funny look. It's like Cthulhu. He's got this bell at gunpoint. And he does shoot him several times throughout the fight. The phase, this one's grown on me a little bit more since I've been grinding Boss Rush as well. He's got some interesting phases where he turns into a bunch of bells and only one of them's the real one. Although I don't know how to solve that one. I think it's kind of random, it feels like sometimes. A couple of the phases are kind of weird. Where does Mind Flayer go? Another arena-dependent boss. I think I agree there, dual swords. So depending on the arena, it's a very different experience, which I don't love. With the pillars, it's a bit easier. Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of rank him similar to the Gull. I think he's a little more fun and interesting than the Gull. So we're going to go top of Yuckers for Mr. Mind Flayer. The little mind phase is kind of fun. That's probably my favorite phase. Okay. Final two. We saved a couple of bangers here. Potentially here. So you go to the first secret floor of the Oubliette. You get the crest, which is like a piece of armor. And if you don't take a hit until you reach the end of Gungeon proper, or you reach the secret altar room of Gungeon proper, you unlock the Abbey of the Dragun. So it's like a secret within a secret, which I love. I love the build-up. And he's kind of a reprise of our Bullet King. He's named the Old King. And he's really cool. I like his intro. I like the dread that he kind of fills. He's the only boss in the game that fills Chewie for you with dread, which I love. The only boss that Chewie ever says he could die to. When he's jammed, good luck. He's tanky as hell. The phases are fun. The Abbey itself is quite forgettable, like the rooms. I like the aesthetic. I don't like the room design, the enemy choice too much, but Old King is just an awesome end to the Abbey there. Good reward, good experience with the Old King. Very, very satisfying to get your first no-hit Old King. A very challenging boss, but feels somewhat fair, and I love him, man. He's going up in peak. He's going right there. Going right there. All right. The final boss is Wallmonger. Wallmonger is from Hollow, floor 4. So with the Kill Pillars and High Priest. And I'll just go ahead and say Wallmonger is my favorite boss mechanically. It's not the aura that these three have, kind of being secret bosses, kind of trump him a little bit. I know this is kind of talking mechanics, but I love the Wallmonger. It's so satisfying to learn his attack patterns and how to just navigate. Also a great boss to teach you how to not dodge roll and freak out. And just kind of micro through bullet hell. This is a great boss. I almost want to, you know what? I'll do it. He's above the Old King. He's no Lich. I love Wallmonger. That's my hot take, I think, here. Wallmonger's a great boss. Really cool boss. Really unique. That's how I feel. That's my list. I see a lot of you don't agree, but it is what it is. Again, this is just my favorite bosses to play, really. That's the final list, so hope you all enjoyed.